I think at some point recently, I figured out that I had fallen out of love with video games, a pastime of mine that I've enjoyed my entire life. And I think the reason why I fell out of love with video games is something rather unique to me, and I don't really know if a lot of other people out there are going to be able to identify with it. And that's the fact that I am a full-time streamer on twitch.tv. And I think this is the primary culprit for why I stopped loving video games. And here's why. I would not play a video game if I didn't think it could create good content. There are a plethora of video games that I was very excited for, even some this year that I skipped over because I just didn't think people would be interested to see that content. Kena, Metroid Dread come to mind. Another really big mental roadblock for me was that I wouldn't play a game because I would either enjoy it, which would ruin the reactions I could have had on stream, or I wouldn't like it all that much, which would have made it a waste of money and time. And then I didn't even get to stream it, so there was literally zero gain to be had there. Also, when trying out new games that you may not know if your audience is really tuned into, this can create a variance in viewership when you're playing these games. So this would make me rush to beat these games or just simply drop them altogether. And obviously, if you're rushing to the end goal of a game, you're not really giving yourself time to be absorbed in that world or to really enjoy it for what it is. And I think the final nail in the coffin for me is that I would start equating playing video games to streaming, which made it feel like a job. And it was really hard to separate the idea of playing a video game and working. I know a lot of people think that streaming is like an A1 job and that it's all glory and stuff like that, but it really isn't. It creates a lot of pressure on you while you are playing games that you would otherwise love to be entertaining, to engage with your chat. And all of this takes away from the actual gaming experience. So that was identifying the problem. How did I go about fixing that problem? Well, the first thing I had to learn how to do was separate gaming and streaming. I started to view streaming more as exclusive entertainment-focused content that I could create and monetize, and then started to view gaming as something I could do when I was not streaming, something for leisure, a hobby. That was extremely difficult. I realized that my best type of streams actually weren't gaming at all. I can showcase my personality and my sense of humor much better through other means. It's very difficult to be entertaining while you're trying to focus on a video game. And then the last thing that helped me fix this problem was I just stopped streaming video games. Now, at first, this meant I didn't play games for months because of the relationship I had developed between gaming and streaming. But this did a very important thing. It created a thirst for gaming. I mean, it was something I did my whole life, and now there's just a void waiting to be filled. But what could fill it? Well, I credit 3 games with helping me find love in video games once again. And the games that made me fall in love are Forza Horizon 5, Halo Infinite, and Pokemon Shining Pearl. Now, these games are probably not the revolutionary games you may expect one to credit with making them fall in love with video games again, but I promise you I'm gonna make at least a little bit of sense. Let's start with Forza Horizon 5, because this was the first game that I just started playing late at night after my streams. It's casual fun, low effort. I don't really gotta think much. I'm just driving around having mindless fun. Because it was so casual and low effort and low pressure, it didn't really feel like content was missing from my stream. And as I kept playing Forza, it just made me realize, like, this is a game I used to make fun of when Microsoft would showcase it for 15 minutes during a show. Because I mean, who the hell just wants to pick a McLaren and then drive around? And then it dawned on me, bro, that's the point. There are no expectations. There is no pressure. There is no princess to save. There is no long RPG drawn out story. There is no stat trees you have to really dive into in order to min-max your experience gain or min-max your damage output or your HP. You just fucking drive. And the beautiful part is that once you're done being a filthy casual, you have so many options to make the game more difficult. There's so much content for you to do, and then the beautiful part is that there's so much freedom in how you can do it. And that freedom of choice and that freedom of gameplay creativity opened me up to a world that I really needed to look into, and I found myself loving Forza. And then there was Halo Infinite that came out shortly after. Now, one thing you need to know about me is that I self-identify as a Halo sexual. Halo 3 might be one of my favorite games of all time, and it's definitely one that I put the absolute most time into. And Halo Infinite, while it does have its flaws, has a gameplay loop that just might be my favorite since 3. The game feels really good, and grinding is super rewarding in that game. Because it has such a huge skill gap, the hours that you put into this game feel super substantial, which other FPSs don't really do for me. You have your casual game modes that you can just hop into, like Quick Play or Fiesta, or hop into ranked competitive modes, so that way you can start sweating if you'd like to and really see where you stack up with the Halo population. But again, it comes back to these main components. There's no pressure, no expectations. I'm just shooting shit. And because the game is primarily multiplayer, it didn't feel like my stream was missing out on content because the gameplay loop really never changes. I mean, you're playing oddball, you're shooting people in the head, you're playing CTF. This shit happens all the time. And now we arrive to Pokemon Shining Pearl. And I realize that this one may come as a bit of a head scratcher to some of y'all. But this game marks a significant milestone for me. This was a single player game that I was really looking forward to, that I just played for myself and for my own enjoyment. No one else's. And it was fucking liberating. Pokemon Pearl is my favorite Pokemon game of all time. I put hundreds of hours into this game when I was younger, so I was really excited for this game. Now, yes, the game has mad disappointments. I mean, just look at the way the shit looks. But for better or for worse, it's just Pokemon Pearl, and I love Pokemon Pearl. And again, going back to those core mechanics, Pokemon is like the definition of low pressure and just playing at your own pace. And this game made me feel like I could just unwind after my streams, and since it's just a Pokemon remake, who really cares if they can't watch it? And most people hate the game anyways. And that's when I had an epiphany. Games are the fucking shit. And what's beautiful is that if I start loving a game, I can create meaningful and engaging content off of that. It turns out people really like watching people be passionate and excited about the game they're playing. And these experiences had something dawn on me. And it's that it's just never that serious. You don't have to love every game. You don't have to hate every game. These days, if I'm enjoying a game, fuck it, I'll play it. And if I'm not enjoying it anymore, I'll put it down. And that's how I put 50 hours into Halo and Forza each. That's how I got absolutely addicted to Pokemon Shining Pearl. And I even ended up streaming my Elite Four run, and everyone had a dope time. But fuck Cynthia, like for real. Changing my relationship with video games to go from work to experiences has allowed me to truly enjoy them again. There were so many games that I was interested in that I'm finally playing for the first time. Did y'all know Metroid Dread was this fucking fire? Hades is literally so good that it ruins every other game in the genre. Death Stranding was such a unique and amazing experience. Forza got me to play a damn racing game nonstop every single day for 2 weeks. I'm out here grinding Halo again like it's 2007 on my Xbox Live Party to sign up for game battles. We get out the hood. And the best part of it, I didn't stream any of it. These were experiences that were for me to enjoy. Memories that I made for me. No content, no chat, just me and a controller. How it's always been. I love video games again, and I love that for me.